Hey guys, this is TGStudios in Roblox Studio. As you can see, what I've got here, I've been making myself a repulsor beam, if you like. It's basically like a normal tractor beam, like you find it in Star Trek Online or Star Wars or something, where instead of putting the objects towards your craft, you actually push it away. I've actually made it, done a little mock-up of a little ship that I made ages ago, and I put the script inside, so hopefully soon I will spawn in the world if it allows me to. Try again. Lovely. Oh, there we go. Right, so I've made this mock-up ship to be able to control my repulsor script. It's just a very basic plain script, if you like, for the craft itself. As you can see on the screen, repulsor's off. When I hit J, we should see a beam come out of the craft, and if there's anything in range, it will try and push it, basically. Let's stop here. Let's press J. There we go, we're pushing that that tower. And I've programmed it, if I get close enough to the object I'm pushing, it will start to break the object. We might even hang on to it here. There we go, I'm hanging on to it. Bye bye tower. So let's push some more things around. The code behind this is actually very close to be, or I'll just have to change one value to make it into a tractor beam. So instead of pushing things, I could actually pull the things towards the craft. So I won't go towards that wall just yet. That's sort of at the end of the video to show you what's what. So the way I am actually doing this, I'm doing creating a region 3 round the craft, and then indexing all the parts around that craft. And if they're within a certain distance, it adds it to the list, and then I'll just cycle through the list. Oh, destroy that tree. So it's one of the projects, long-term projects, that I'm working upon to eventually make a space game in Roblox. And this is one of the things that I was trying to do forever, and I finally figured out a way of doing it with my gravity script. That's basically what it's using. Just I'm not doing all the parts themselves. Right, let's go towards this wall. This wall is actually made up of quite a few parts, so it might slow me down. So watch this. Boom. So I'm going to destroy that wall. At the moment, there's no way of actually controlling the strength of the repulsor, which I might add in the future. And there's no way of flipping the polarity, if you like, so pull or push. But what I've got so far is not too bad, I don't think. And I'll talk you through, hopefully, if I remember, talk you through the script how I did it. Yeah. It's because it's cycling through a lot of scripts, or lot of parts, sorry, it's sort of slowing down. So we'll actually get out of this area. I don't know why every time I see this beam I think of Beam Me Up Scotty, or oh no, I'm being abducted by aliens. So in its current state, I did actually program a way of actually pushing the craft as well from the repulsor beam. So if another craft comes this way along the beam, if it tries to fight the repulsor, it will add a force to the actual craft itself. I'm still working on that bit. But the code is there, but I've just commented it out because it's not working the way I want. So the code is as follows. I've, as I say, I'm creating a region 3 round the craft, and then I'm getting the actual size of the craft itself, so it could be any kind of craft where you can put it inside. And then I'm using that area for the effect. So I think I'm timesing it by 2 or something. Let's have a look. Find. So I'm taking the area size, the size of the actual model itself plus 100 studs. So if you think of the X, Y and Z, it's the max size of those 3 dimensions plus 100. So in other words, so we got something like, let's just say a size of something like that. The highest, or should I say the max size would be 75, about that. Let's see what that is. Where's my console? Thank you. Print vector 3. Change that to a capital V. Magnitude. So that'd be a max size of 93 studs. Well, 94 studs if you like. 93.5 studs. Plus 100 on top of that. So it's from the center point where the repulsor is to that. So that'd be 193 in this case. Or in the case of the pod, let's just see if we can do that. So that's workspace, pod, get extent size. Magnitude. So it's 118 studs altogether, basically. So the way I'm actually controlling the craft itself, as I said, it's just a basic plain script that I converted it into a vehicle seat using remote events and things. I won't go into too much detail with that because it's a bit tricky to get your head around, but once you know object-oriented programming, it's quite simple. Anyway, back to the repulsor script. So what I'm doing is I've created my own wait function thanks to the old Roblox forum when it used to exist. I sort of asked how to do it, and that was the best answer. I was thinking maybe coroutine yield, and then I don't know, do a time thing on it. So anyway, let's move on. We got, I didn't explain that well, did I? Then we got the code that very similar to my gravity script. I'm using that code again. The thing that used to take me a while to work out how to do dot products and things. And look at that. Just one line. I think I should go back to math school, I think. Oh well, whatever. So anyway, the beam itself, I'm actually creating on the fly, like a reference part with this, where I'm just creating it on the fly and returning it to beam constructor. At the moment, the parent of the beam is nothing. It's not being put anywhere. And the same for the attachments, because if you ever make a beam, like, let's actually make one now. Let's add some attachments. If you find that you always have to have the attachments for the beam to do its effect. Where are we? Attachment 1 and 2. And then go into the beam. So that will be that one, and that will be that one. There you go. So that's basically what I'm doing. Is I'm creating 2 attachments inside the actual repulsor part. Let's actually move that out. Put that in there. Get rid of that one. And let's move this attachment. This is basically how I'm doing it. Now where did that go? Now, did it remove the attachment? Oh, okay. That's weird. It's meant to create a beam between those 2 points, but it's not doing it. Must be something I'm doing stupid or something, I don't know. Let's have a look. 0, 2, 0, 1. Let's create another beam. It might be because I moved the attachment and it bugged out. I guess not. Okay, Roblox. Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is creating that sort of thing. I don't know why it's not working in my example, but the code is exactly what I've just done there. So I'm creating the attachments in the same part, just offsetting the attachment between the repulsor part, or should I say base, and the part that it's detecting. So if I actually run the game and then turn that on, we should see those beams, like so. So they're going between, now what did I put as the base? I think it might have been that bit. Yeah. And the actual part that it's sensing. So in the case of these, there's nothing inside the actual part itself. All the bits itself are inside the actual repulsor, or the base if you like. There you go. So let's copy that. Stop the game and paste it in here. There we go. So let's move that out. Didn't want it inside of that. So it's just updating the actual attachment point to what it's sensing. The way I got the location of the other part, if you ever move an attachment to the base part, you have to offset it from the center of the part, where, let's actually undo that. So we got orientation and position of that one there, 0, 0. And then the other one, we got a different position, which is right over here. So the way I get that position, I take the position of the actual repulsor, and then find the actual position of the part, or the brick that it's sensing. And what did I do? It's been a little while since I actually programmed this. There we go. Used a C-frame function called point to object space. It basically just returns, I wouldn't say a normalized vector. It's basically just a easy way of actually getting a object space compared to world space. I don't know exactly how to describe that, but it's basically just converting one between the two. And that took a little bit of a while to work out how to do. For the actual forces that are actually pushing the parts away, I'm using a power, which I'll be eventually be working out a way of actually making it dynamic, so you can actually change it. And I'm yeah, so that's a power. So I'm working out the power, and then I'm timesing that by the distance to work out the max distance, because if you have a power between 100 there and 100 there, it wouldn't be correct, because it wouldn't be realistic, if you like. So when you come out the part itself, in real life you get like a light if you like. You get, let's create a light. I'm not explaining it well, am I? So basically we get a light, although we can't see that. You get sort of a fade if you like. So I've programmed it into the code, so as you get closer to the part it gets stronger. So that's all what this is doing, or to say this bit here. So I'm taking the actual distance and then the normal of the between the repulsor and the part that it's sensing to get the pushing side. What I was actually talking about earlier was all I had to do to convert it into a tractor beam is take that minus out, and then all we need to do is just run it and it should start sucking things towards you. So let's do that. Hopefully I've altered the right thing. Oh well, we're about to see if on camera. Right, enable and fly. So let's have a look. Ah, we got a bug. Right, so where's that bug? Max power. Let's actually do that. A little bit further down. So this may not work the way up, because the other part of that code, I'm checking for a positive power, because we're going into negative now. It may not work. So, oh, there we go. See that? We got a tractor beam. Kinda. So it's very, very simple to work out how to do a tractor beam. There you go. So we're going to pick up this car. Oh, I'll pick the tree. Car! Yeah! So that's basically how I do it. Very, very simple. And I think I've broken it. Lovely. Yep, I think I've broken it. Oh well. So that's basically what I'm doing. I may not exactly release this in its current state, because it's basically just a conversion of my gravity script, if you like. That is already out, I think. So I've also made a function to go through all the parts. Like when you find parts in region 3, if you do over 1,000 parts it will lag down the game. So I've created another little function that will go through all those parts and only return the closest parts to the bit that it's sensing. So that's basically what this function is doing. It's basically, if you think of a zombie script, the way they sort of lock on to the nearest player, it's basically using the same concept as that, but for parts. And then all I'm doing then is going through the parts twice, once to get the closest part, and then twice again to get the closest parts to that part that it's found, and then I'm just returning them. And then that's the parts that get the effect on them. So it's a bit around the houses, if you like, but it's working as you can see. And let's put that back to normal power. I think there's a few little bugs here and there where that shouldn't have gone positive, because I've set it to a force magnitude greater than 70. If that goes above that, then it breaks the parts and then pushes them away. Where if I did that again, I don't know exactly what's going on when it actually breaks the parts, but I'm getting there, if you like. Anyway, this has been TGStudios in Roblox Studio on my Repulsor Beams example, if you like. And if you've got any questions or anything, ask down below and I'll try and get back to you. In the comments down below if you like. And if you want me to go through this events thing for the craft itself, then I'll be happy to. And of course, the reason why I haven't been uploading for a while is because I haven't had time for Roblox and things. So I'm hoping to actually get back to Roblox, if you like, with these sort of things. And as I said, I'm hoping to eventually get a space game up and running, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, another thing that's crossed my mind. You know my stair game? I've actually added a score system that actually saves and loads your scores from last time. The only thing that's not working at the moment is the way of resetting your scores, if you like. So it is working as far as I can tell. If you guys want to try it out, if I remember, and if I can remind myself in production or post-production, if you like, to actually add the link down below, I will do, so you guys can check that out as well. I may even put this online as a kind of like a little test, if you like. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot about that. So, as I was talking about with the attachments, there you go. That's the concept. So we got the two attachments, one inside the part and then one offset from the part. So, yeah. Then I'm just updating that this attachment here. There you go. Anyway, this has been TGStudios in Roblox Studio, as I've already said, on my Repulsor Beam. And hopefully that I didn't bore you guys too much. It's been a while since I've done a video, so anyway. So yeah, if you guys got any questions or anything, just ask down below, and I'll get back to you. Anyway, this has been TGStudios in Roblox Studio, and I'll catch you guys later. TGStudios signing out.